Heyo, welcome to the QB School. Fired up. All sorts of good stuff to talk about. Let's get it going. Why do some QBs seem less inclined to take the checkdowns? That's a great question. It depends, man. It really does, because the checkdown is an unbelievable weapon, but it's usually, if it's not emphasized in the system, meaning you got to have the running backs connected to that and they have to think of themselves as wide receivers, it's really hard to get out, especially if you're not on the running backs constantly to get out, be available. Well, then if you go look for the check down and he's blocking air to the right, it's a problem. And so it takes a kind of the comprehensive system to be able to get after and use check downs in that regard. It's a learned skill. I think it's a really important thing. I think it can really elevate people's games. And you see that really quickly, whether it's in high school, high level college football, in the league. Once you realize that you can use checkdowns and how they work as far as being natural high lows on certain concepts, it's a really easy way to get a completion. And to be honest with you, it keeps guys in the league. You watch a preseason game, you watch a veteran guy, he's going to take the checkdown. He's going to come out of that, his 2 series of work, 7 for 8, 60 yards, touchdown, and thrown nothing but, balls that are under 5 yards, because that's the reality. You need your stats to look good. You need to play well, and checkdowns are a great way to do that. They just are. And so, I think it's a process of becoming a little bit more polished as a decision maker, but you also have to be in a system that allows you to do that. You can't just roll out there and have like full slide protections where the back is always in, never running a check down. You got to have opportunities for the back to get out, and then you got to throw it to him when it's downfield. You got to practice what it feels like to kind of have everybody drop and just feel this kind of like all the color go back and know, I'm going to throw the check down. Or pre-populate it in your head. I know, like if I call 4 verticals or got called 4 verticals, I was thinking I'm throwing the check down 50% of the time. I don't care if it's routes on air. My mind is thinking 4 verticals, check down. Now, if it's there, I'm going to rip it, and I want to rip it. But if it's not there, I want the check down, I want the completion, I want to keep moving the chains. Those type of things. That's the mentality for me that was never there in high school. It gets there because you get drilled into it and you get into systems that hold running backs accountable. And you got to have a running back coach who's in it. You got to have a coordinator who's locked into throwing checkdowns, and then you got to actually do it. It's hard to do as a running back, get out on a checkdown when you're not getting the ball thrown to you, or you're beat up because you just took 3 carries. So those type of things all have to work together. But it's really a great asset and something that's, in my opinion, is severely underused, especially at the younger levels. Now, in the league, it's a priority. You do it all the time. I was on many teams that worked out, their practice, started every practice throwing checkdowns. So it's a priority.